Facebook friends and Instagram followers. This is Laura Berg with ELB Consulting, coming to you today to discuss a little bit about protein bars. Just a new topic, something different to talk about. Protein bars are kind of very popular right now. We've got a lot of varieties, different brands to purchase. So what I did just about a few minutes ago is Google the top 15 healthy bars that you can purchase on Amazon. And I was actually kind of surprised on some of the ones that popped up. So I'm going to discuss some of the ones that are the most popular on Amazon, but I'm also going to give you my favorite recommendation of a protein bar at the end of this video, just to let you know my own personal recommendation on what I look for when it comes to a protein bar. But regardless of the protein bar that you choose to purchase or you choose to eat, there's about 5 or 6 guidelines that I would recommend for each and every one of them. When you choose a protein bar, the very first thing you want to look at is calories. They vary from 100, 150 calories to 300 depending on the purpose of your protein bar. So if you're going to pick a protein bar that is a higher calorie one, like a Cliff Bar, that has about 300 calories in it, that's more of a meal replacement versus one that's more like a Kind bar that has 150 calories. So just by knowing the calories alone of the protein bar that you choose will determine on whether or not you want it as a snack or you want it as a meal replacement, or even a pre or post workout, depending on what your goals are with a protein bar. Ideally, when you choose a protein bar, you're choosing to ingest protein into your body to help build muscle, repair, recover that muscle. So ideally, a protein bar is usually when you don't have time to eat and it's a great holdover for your next meal, or you want it after your workout to replenish your protein as fast as possible. So once again, those calories do make a difference on whether or not it's a meal replacement or if it's a snack replacement. Ideally, protein bars that are right around that 200 mark is good. You don't want to get some that are really high in calories because they do add up quickly, and oftentimes our brain thinks that we are digesting sugar or candy, so we want to make sure that our brain understands the difference between a protein bar and candy, so you don't want to eat too many of them. So keeping the calories on the lower side is always a good thing. Number 2, the second thing to look at in your protein bar, regardless of the brand, is sugar. Sugar can add up very quickly in protein bars. So you want to make sure that you choose a protein bar with low in sugar. Ideally, the general guideline for sugar is anywhere between 8 grams to 13 grams per protein bar. I tend to like to keep it near that 8, that lower end, but some of your protein bars that have those higher calorie content will have a higher sugar content. So you want to make sure that you look at your sugar grams on your protein bars. If your sugar grams are high, that's not a bad thing. But once again, going back to the calories, are you having it as a snack meal replacement, a snack replacement, or a meal replacement? If it's that 300 calorie protein bar with a higher sugar content and you just ran and lifted weights, then the higher sugar content may be okay. But if you're trying to lose weight and you didn't lift weights and you're trying to keep your calories down, then you don't want a 150 calorie bar with 13 grams of sugar. That's way too much. So you want to keep that down to maybe more like that 7 gram with a lower calorie bar. So you got to know what your goals are and why you're eating that protein bar in the first place. So not only do you want to look at the sugar grams, but you also want to look at where the sugar is coming from. If the front of your protein bar says 0 grams or low sugar or net carbs, those are signs that there might be a sugar substitute in that protein bar. And you want to be careful of sugar substitutes because they are very sweet. They are some of them are 100 to 300 times sweeter than regular sugar. So once again, that brain thinks it's eating candy because our brain loves sugar. We love it. So you want to make sure that the sugar in your protein bar is from a natural source. Maple syrup, honey, dates, monk fruit, all those are good healthy sugars. The ones you want to be careful sugars are aspartame, sucralose, fructose, erythritol, anything with the OLs. You want to be careful with the sugar substitutes because they're lower calories. It's a way for the bar to market it as low sugar, but it is a sugar substitute, and our body has a very hard time to digest sugar substitutes. It doesn't know how. It sits in our body for a long period of time, and it also weakens our immune system. And it also makes us more addicted to sugar. It makes us crave more sugar. So be very careful when you're choosing a protein bar on the sugar grams. Make sure the sugar grams are low, but not too low that it says 0 sugar, because you want to make sure that the sugar is from a good source of sugar and not from a sugar substitute, if that makes any sense. So be careful on the low sugar bars because there could be a sugar substitute in it. And I'm not a big fan of sugar substitutes at all. I try to stay away from them, so be careful on those. Number 3 guideline for picking your protein bar is the protein source. Where do you want your protein source? If you're a vegan or a vegetarian, you may go for a soy-based protein or a pea protein bar. If you are more of a keto bar, you may want to do more of a meat whey protein bar. So there's also, which was shocking when I did my research on the top 10 protein bars on Amazon, one of them is a cricket, protein from a cricket. So apparently crickets need less water to make the same amount of protein from a cow. Anyone know about crickets? I didn't know. If you did, give me a thumbs up, because that was totally new to me to have a protein source from crickets. That's kind of disgusting to me, but maybe it's for you guys. But anyway, know where your protein source is coming from. Do you want it from a soy? Do you want it milk-based? Do you want it from a meat or a cow or crickets or a chicken? Chicken bar was also one of the top 10 protein bars on Amazon. Once again, new, didn't know that. So I found it very fascinating that when I researched healthy bars, we have moved into the keto stages where a lot of the protein bars are chosen for keto dieting, which is fine. But it was very fascinating to me to see a meat cow bar, a cricket bar, and a chicken bar. Times are changing. Okay, so know where that protein source is, because if you are trying to stay away from a milk or a meat product, you want to know where your protein comes from. Number 4 is the most important one for me, and hopefully for you as well, if you've looked at some of my past videos, is the fiber content. If I choose a protein bar, it has got to have more than 3 grams of fiber in it. And some of them have 0 and 1 grams. And I don't understand, well, I do understand, but for me, if you're gonna have a bar, you might as well get fiber, because if you've listened to anything any of these videos I've done in the past, and if you haven't, they're still up, but if not, I'll continue to talk. Fiber is the #1 most crucial nutrient in my mind when it comes to increasing your immune system, losing weight, giving your body the nutritious it needs. Fiber slows the digestive system down. Fiber, it fills you up. It stabilizes blood sugar. So in my opinion, if you're gonna have a protein bar that is a little higher in sugar, you wanna make sure it has at least 7 grams of fiber in the bar to make sure it's healthy. Some of these bars have 0. So I always like 3 and above is good. 5, 6, 7 is good. It's great. So choose a bar that has a little bit higher in fiber in it to help stabilize those blood sugars so you don't crave more sugar later on during the day. Number 5, which is also very important when it comes to a protein bar, is to the ingredients. Make sure you read those ingredients. A lot of the advertising on the front of the bar says natural, gluten-free, vegan, clean, non-GMO, which is fantastic, but what is in that protein bar? So you want to make sure that you're looking for additives, sugar substitutes, thickeners, a lot of oils. There's a lot of oils in some of these bars. That palm kernel oil, it's a trans fatty acid, very hard for the body to digest. So you want to make sure some of the chocolate coating protein bars have that palm kernel oil in it. You want to watch out for some of these oils that are highly refined, highly processed, that are very hard for the body to digest. So make sure you're reading the ingredients. You also don't need a bar that has a ton of ingredients in it. You want to make sure that there's only about under 10 ingredients. If it's more than that, there's a whole list of things. I'm not sure that's a very healthy bar. I mean, it could be depending on the type of bar. Like a superfood bar is going to have more ingredients than a protein bar. Superfood's going to have that barley grass, the wheatgrass, the ginger, the turmeric, and all that. All those little ingredients can add up and very healthy for the body. So you want to make sure that these ingredients are clean and pronounceable and that you know what they are, because if you understand and know what they are, then your body can digest it and be healthy. So that is number 5. Number 6, watch the fat grams on some of these bars, especially those chocolate peanut butter crunch or those brownie double fudge sundaes, whatever. Make sure when you choose a protein bar, it does not have a lot of fat grams in it. Fat is good, fat burns fat, but you still just want to be careful, because if you only have 150 calories and 7 of them will come from fat, that's a lot of fat for the body to digest. So make sure that you watch the fat grams, keep it down, keep it low, and you want to know where your fat is. Once again, if you have the superfood protein bars that are good fats, sunflower, peanut butter fats, that's okay, but some of them can be more the saturated fat from that chocolate, and it may not be as healthy for your body. So watch the fat grams, make sure it's on the lower side. Number 7 guideline when it comes to picking out your protein bars is the flavors. We do tend to love our brands, whether it is Cliff Bar or Kind bars or Quest bars. Those, I'm just naming brands off the top of my head. Not what I recommend, but just naming them off. Be careful of the flavors. Don't assume that all of the bars in that brand are healthy. They're all made with different ingredients, and you gotta read every single label. So if you love Cliff Bar, the mint chocolate chip, don't assume that it's clean. That one's clean, and then so is the chocolate peanut butter. So you wanna make sure you read ingredients on every single bar, even if you know the brand is generally safe. You just never know, and things change constantly. Manufacturers change, wrapping changes, production changes, everything changes. So keep reading those ingredients regardless of the flavor of the bar. And then last but not least, the most important thing you can do when you eat a protein bar is to always, always, always have it with a bottle of water. You are consuming a very high protein, possibly sugar, fiber, and fat piece of food. That is a lot for the body to digest, especially if you are dehydrated. So if you drink a bottle of water with a protein bar, regardless if it's a post-workout, regardless if it's for a snack, regardless if it's for your meal, you need the water to help digest and break it down. The amount of protein that's in some of those protein bars is very hard for the kidneys to digest and excrete. So you got to make sure you drink water to help that body flush those toxins out. Drinking water would be very beneficial. Like I said, a bottle of water with every protein bar, regardless. Unless you happen to have a Nature Valley granola bar, which I would not consider a protein bar. And that you wouldn't need so much water with, because it's mostly carbohydrate based. Simple sugars are easier for the body to break down than the protein, the fat, and the fibers. So you want to be careful and just make sure you drink your water. So when choosing a protein bar, you look at calories, the sugar grams, where your sugar's coming from, your protein source, your fiber content, your ingredient list, absolutely 100%, your fat grams and where your fat comes from, the different flavors, make sure that they're all clean, and then always, always, always make sure you drink water with every single protein bar to help that body break it down. So going back to my Amazon research, the top protein bars that are purchased are supposedly the healthiest that are purchased off Amazon. Number 1 is Think Thin. I'm not sure if anyone has tried Think Thin. It's a very clean brand. They've mostly keto, vegan, gluten-free, mostly soy-based. These bars are very tasty. They are very clean in general, 10 grams of protein. They do tend to have some oil built up in them. They've got sunflower oil, peanut oil, so just beware of that, but overall a good healthy bar. Number 2 on Amazon list happens to be my favorite protein bar, which is the one I do recommend, which is the RX bars. I'm not sure if anyone's heard of them, but probably they're all everywhere now. They just got mass produced, but RX bars. And the reason why I tend to love RX bars is because they only have 4 ingredients, 3 egg whites, 14 peanuts, 2 dates, and branch chains. No branch chains. So you got dates, peanuts, egg whites, chocolate, natural flavors, sea salt, and cacao. I love it because they're very simple, but you do need water with this. And just to give you a heads up, let's see, 210 calories, 9 grams of fat, 0 grams of cholesterol, 310 sodium, so it is high in sodium. 5 grams of fiber, wouldn't be my highest fiber bar, but I love it, and 12 grams of protein. 14 grams of sugar. I'm okay with a little bit of higher sugar in this bar because they're from dates, and dates tend to be more sugar, just that there are no sugar substitutes. So this also came up as number 2, which is my favorite. And then Go Macro Bars, that's another great clean brand. If you're looking for one, 11 grams of protein, 14 grams of sugar, 2 grams of fiber, so they're a little lower on the fiber side, but Go Macro means macronutrients, your proteins, your fat, and your carbohydrates. Keto Bars was also on that list. Keto Bars, 6 grams of 1 gram of sugar, 6 grams of protein, 7 grams of fiber, 20 grams of fat. So the keto bars are on the cleaner side, but 20 grams of fat. That's a lot of fat, but it is a keto bar. So that was also considered one of the healthiest bars. DNX grass-fed beef. This bar was very interesting when I did the research. It had 14 grams of protein, but 0 grams of fiber. So obviously it's a high protein source from grass-fed beef and also bacon, jalapeno bacon. I've never tried it, can't say I want to, but it was just interesting that this bar is 14 grams of protein, 0 grams of fiber, but it is considered clean and healthy. So that was another one. EXO cricket bars. This is the one that is made of cricket, believe it or not. 16 grams of protein, 16 grams of fiber, so there must be fiber in the crickets, I don't even know, and 7 grams of sugar. So nutritionally, and it's clean if you're willing to eat crickets. I don't know. If you choose to try this bar, could you please let me know how it tastes? Because I'm fascinated by this bar, but I can't say I've got the guts to try it. So if it's good, let me know. Julian Bakery Pecan Thin Protein. This is a vegan vegetarian bar. Once again, 20 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, 23 grams of fiber because it's a plant-based protein bar. So it keeps going on. You got Atlas Keto chocolate bars, Epic All Natural Chicken Sesame Barbecue Meat protein bars was on the top list. IQ bar chocolate sea salt, Omega bars, a Zing dark chocolate. Kind bars also made it. Kind bars is it's a lower calorie protein bar. It has palm kernel oil, which you want to make sure you're careful of because that's that trans fatty acid that can build up in your body. So these were the top bars that are purchased on Amazon. They were all mostly clean due to my research, but apply the following guidelines to each of the bars or any bars that you consume or purchase over the counter. Make sure that you look at your calories. What do you want? What are your goals? How many calories do you need? Watch those sugar grams. Make sure they're all natural sugars and not just from sugar substitutes. Watch that protein source depending on your goals with protein. Do you want a cricket? Do you want meat, chicken, whey protein, pea protein? Fiber is a big one for me. I will eat a protein bar as long as it has enough fiber in it. And I know the RX bars were a little on the lower side, so you can substitute your fiber through other foods in your day. Ingredients, always check those ingredients. Watch the fat. Make sure that it's healthy all throughout the flavors and the brands. And then most importantly, regardless of your protein bars that you choose to eat, always drink it with a bottle of water to help that body digest it and break it down because it is a pretty nutrient dense food that could cause a lot of gastric upset. So you can help your body out by flushing it and digesting it a little bit more with water. So if any of you have any questions regarding your protein bars, you're free to give me a thumbs up, comment, text me, email me, send me pictures of the ingredient list. I'd love to take a look at it and let you know if they're safe or healthy. And those are just my tidbits today on how to choose a protein bar that is safe and healthy for you to consume. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I thank you all for your time today, and I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.